hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm here in Arizona and I was hiking in the Grand Canyon not too long ago. So happy to have you. I'm going to launch a real quick poll here so I can get a feel for the audience and so I can fill your needs. So go ahead and just take a quick to do that. We doing here? I know we have quite a few note takers, so I will, and I'm not seeing this has changed. I'm not seeing where I can launch it and show you. It says get QR code, so that's new. So I'll just share with you that 18% said I tend to hide. I quietly coach and avoid the spotlight. Visibility feels scary and self-centered. 27% said, I dabble, I post now and then, but worry that people will, what they might think. And 17%, I show up inconsistently when I'm feeling confident or have something exciting to share. 30%, I'm climbing, I'm learning how to be seen and stay in integrity, but it's still a stretch. And then we have 9% that say, I'm standing tall. I speak, share, and sell from a place of value. And it's moving a little bit more as people come in, but that gives me some really, here, I can share results now. Everybody can see that?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, so I learned something today. I thought I knew. Okay, so then it gives us a good indication you are at the right place at the right time. Good for you. Yes, indeedy. So we're going to get inspired today. And then okay, so that closed out, correct? It closed? Yeah,
Yep.
okay, thank you. Okay, so another, just if you could put very quickly in chat, what is the biggest mindset block that keeps you from owning your space more fully? The biggest mindset block in chat. Getting my network, if I can create impact with my coaching, conflicting roles, trying to identify my USP. Oh, good. I'm going to give you a formula today. I don't want to make the time and energy to promote and respond to clients. I'm not confident enough. New coach, just got my ACC. Oh, good for you. Congratulations. Yes, indeed. Okay, conflicting work full time and then and while coaching. You can also, think about coaching people at work, right? Identify. Okay. I need to begin my business. Okay, well, good. Well, I'm going to jump in here and I'll share the screen and just let you know, get you familiar with what we're doing today. Now, presentation, see, this changed too. Can you see my screen?
We can
Hello?
see your screen. It's not in presentation mode. We can just see your slides with yeah, see if that works.
Oh, thank you. Please
There.
communicate
Oh,
with
but
me.
now we see what you want us to see.
Okay, good. Just to tell you, I got new contacts and I cannot see very well and it's so crazy. And so I've got like different glasses to help me see better until I get to the top. Okay, how to generate more income from coaching. And we did the poll there. So it really is courage comes before confidence. So courage is the spark and confidence is the flame. So confidence is transforming fear into focused related thinking, feeling, and action. So, in no particular order today, we're going to talk about that value proposition, the unique value proposition, help you reframe your value, visibility management, the undeniable value of coaching, and it's going to be factual. Selling is solving people's problems for a profit, and the mindset that coaches must embody to sell powerfully. And then I'm going to give a demonstration of how you can use AI to help you to prepare for conversations. So, and then do put your questions in the chat and we will get to them. So, it really and truly is about the underlying mindset. I'm a believer that coaching is an integral part of of a thriving society, and it's your underlying mindset that is going to drive you to a profitable business, and you can have a profitable coaching business. So on the way to that, we always start with the why, and the why is goes really deep. What you know, you got into coaching for a particular reason, and it's okay to be able to say, I want to start a business. It's an incredible business. And it's also learning and exploring the why of our clients and our prospects. So the what and the how to build your business. I facilitate a roadmap to revenue class through iCoaching Education. We have another group starting in August, and it will give you the nitty gritty of what to do and how to do it. Today, we just are going to cover some of that. And then the you. Yes, indeed. It's the who, what it's all about. So that underlying mindset is so critical. And with that said, my first day of coaching school, the first hour, the first 5 minutes, the facilitator stood up and she said, coaching is taking people from a current reality to a desired result. And when we do that, there is some tension involved. It requires tension to move people from their current reality to their desired result. And that's what the coach is all about. So we follow the core competencies, and we also are here to ask those questions to the client and to the prospect that gets them to move, to expand. So, if you will allow me, I'm going to ask a few tension questions here for many of you. And it is to apply a little bit of tension because your time is now. There's no better time right now to start promoting your coaching business. So you're not selling coaching, you are selling possibility. If anybody asks you, what do you do? And you say, I'm a coach, we're going to clean that up today. You sell possibility. And if you're not able to articulate the value and you feel awkward of charging for it, you're making it about you and not them. So there's a little bit of tension there, right? Imagine a paramedic saying, I don't feel comfortable telling people that I save lives. No. So we're going to really help you. And I want you, if you struggle with this, you need to get a coach. You want to build a thriving coaching business, you get a coach. You get a coach and you pay a coach, or you do ICF peer coaching. It's an incredible opportunity. ICF peer coaching, if you're a member of ICF. So a lot of times people, I'm new, I really don't have the experience. Stop waiting to be ready to promote yourself. Nobody is going to grant you permission. It's that's where the courage comes in, to be very courageous, because there are coaches out there that are less talented, but they're winning because they're braver. They're not better, they're braver. And so I'm making notes here to keep myself on track. They put themselves in the game. And some coaches are still sitting on the bleachers telling stories about, the crowd's too noisy, and watching people run circle around us, right? But they're showing up. And, sometimes people have that false sense of humility. And I want to really challenge you that that is not humility. At the underlying, it's fear. And so again, an opportunity to jump in. People say, I'm not really good at sales, or I don't like sales. Well, you're making the conversation about your comfort. And this is about your client's transformation. So if you have that fear, you need to get a coach. And I really believe that coaching is noble work. And when we treat it like that, guess what? Because we are changing lives, we're helping people have breakthroughs. So, really, is you want to change the world, you have to change your relationship with being seen, being paid, and being powerful. So, nobody's going to discover it if you're not out there. So how's that? Does that feel a little bit of tension there? And one more, we've spent thousands of dollars to become coaches. I've had coaches that spent $50,000 to have somebody help them build their business, and it didn't work. Because you have to really step in it and feel you earn the right to coach. And that kind of stings a little bit, but you've invested in learning the craft. And so it's really to start to step in. Okay, so I'm going to relieve some of that tension here. Hopefully that didn't cause anybody to say, oh, I'm going to be out of here. Okay, so here are the stats. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and read if somebody is on an iPhone and can't see these. 7.3 billion in annual revenue for 2025. This is ICF projections. Look at that. A growth rate of 17%. The strong growth trajectory for demand for coaching services rises worldwide. Worldwide, everybody needs a coach. Mental health challenges, you already know this, are surging. Anxiety is up 25% globally. World Health Organization. So we're not therapists. However, a coach can really help people. I thought this was interesting. Searches for life coach near me have increased over 85% in the last 2 years. 60% of people globally are seeking more meaning in their work. I thought this was really fascinating. Now, this is from International Coach Federation. 78% of people say they would consider working with a coach if they knew someone they trusted who had done it before. So, are you tapping into your clients to make introductions for you? I started a business, and I had my friend who was helping me, and her name was Maya. She goes, Connie, you need to meet my coach. And I said, what? I had never heard of a coach. I met with Marlene, and she coached me. If it wasn't for her, I would not be in business today. I would not. She picked me up when I was down and she pushed me in a really loving way. It was, so think about it, is people don't know. And so then, yes, here, most people are operating at 40% of their capacity. We are in the business for unlocking the next 60%. And this one actually surprised me too. Loneliness is now a bigger health risk than obesity and smoking. Have you heard that people say that it's lonely at the top? I mean, I'm coaching a senior VP right now. Um, And he was just, he said, Connie, I've been following you for 10 years and now I really need you. I can't take it when I have a meeting with my manager on Fridays. I get a stomach ache. And so this is so true. Just I'm going to take one comment if somebody wants to share anything that they found surprising or enlightening before I move on. Anybody? Do you find that interesting? Yes, Daya.
Uh, so I had a similar thing where this person was getting so frustrated at work and he would rather leave the job than have that communication at work, and he felt so lonely, and I could see that coaching can help. This was a friend, but exactly what you are saying, feeling so lonely at work that they would rather leave the job than actually improve their communication skills to handle the stress at work.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that for sure. It's a fact. So here we're going to set the foundation. I got this from the Story brand and I modified it. So you have a potential client, maybe it's a team that has a problem. They meet you and you have the expertise and the tactical empathy. Tactical empathy is the art of influencing by articulating how this prospect is thinking and feeling about their issue. And so when you have the ability to articulate what they are sharing with you, label it. It sounds like this struggle that you have, etc. That's when they lean in. That's when they start leaning in and trusting you. It's called trust-based influence. And you have the process, you have the assessment tools, you have whatever it is, and you are going to co-create a plan with them. Most importantly, I have here in red, you must call them into action. So many salespeople in general dance up to, and then we back off. So when we in the roadmap to revenue class, we really, really help people with techniques on how to do that. So in chat, let's just hear, and Puyo, or if you would read those, how has coaching impacted your life? So I already shared, I don't believe I would be in business. I would be back working for cranky attorneys. So how has being coached impacted your life? Take a moment, share it in chat. So what is really confidence comes after action. So it's really having the courage to get out there, get moving. So visibility management. And I'm going to give you some how you can do this. And before you leave this presentation, I am hoping and begging you to have, if you're not visible now, to start thinking and really ground into where you can show up. And it's not necessarily just showing up on LinkedIn. It's showing up in the marketplace because it helps you start articulating your value proposition. If they can't see you, they can't believe you. Visibility is an act of trust. You can't matter if you're missing. Anonymous coaches don't change lives. The best kept secret doesn't serve anyone. Hiding isn't humility. It's a missed opportunity. If you're not on their radar, you're not in their life. Out of sight, out of service. Being invisible in a noisy world isn't noble. It's neglect. You owe people a chance to find you. And you know what? The research shows people aren't looking for a coach on LinkedIn. They're not going, who coaches? They're connecting, and then the more value you add, the more that it can come up. Just a few years ago, I was getting at least a new coaching client a week. And now LinkedIn has just shifted a little bit with all that. So I cannot profess to say that's happening now. However, still staying visible because people are, having an article, having your newsletter on there, subscribers. So you owe people a chance to find you. Your impact starts where your courage begins, in being seen. Playing small robs the world of your signal. So here is your time, and I'm a big believer, implement at the speed of instruction. Identify places where you can show up in person or virtually, better in person on a consistent basis, better bi-weekly, at the least bi-weekly. So that you are in some way showing up, being visible, talking about your unique selling proposition. Now, Toastmasters.org is all over the world. I highly recommend it. And if this is where your fear, it just nosedives. Is anybody here in Toastmasters? Ah, John, you want to back me up on that claim?
Yeah, it's certainly a wonderful networking opportunity, but it also is great for courage and public speaking and putting yourself forward. It really equips people to be able to do all of that. Yeah. And as you say, it's international. So wherever you go, you meet fellow Toastmasters.
Yes, thank you. You just go to toastmasters.org, put in the US, your area code. I was in Toastmasters, and so also it gives you the platform you can talk about what you do. You choose your curriculum and you can give speeches from 5 to 7 for now to infinity on coaching and your methodologies. I was in a group, and there was a lawyer that he had introduced me to his wife. She became my client. After that, he took me into his law firm, and I worked with the group of business developers. Believe it, law firms have business developers. It was a $30,000 contract. So just don't kid yourself, and you need to get out there. If there's no other place that you can go, get into Toastmasters. Okay, now, am I sharing or not? Oh, please be patient with me. I'm just like, so there's Toastmasters, and explore podcasts where you can promote yourself as a guest in your niche. Go to artificial intelligence, perplexity.ai, ask for podcasts in your niche. They are there. Good hosts are always looking for exceptional guests, and you can prepare yourself. I'm happy to help people prepare themselves for a podcast. And you just because I have people saying, hey, I heard you on a podcast. It's like, woo. So post on LinkedIn at least once a week, even if it's a quote about your niche or about a statistic or something. There are no excuses. That is getting you in the phase. And then another thing, thoughtfully comment on post of other people and even other coaches. If you see a coach that puts something up, thoughtfully comment on that. Really get good at that. And I was prospecting a VP, and I just started commenting on what he was putting up there. And you know what? They're one of my biggest clients now. So you just really watch that and be very strategic. You can host a community conversation. Maybe it's even virtually. And don't get shy. I mean, if one or two people show up, I mean, I had a webinar the other day, 39 people registered and 6 showed up. But you know what? I love those 6 people. Who knows what's going to come out of that? So we can't let any of those little saboteur fears get to us. Reach out to past clients or some of your past colleagues at work and talk to them about what you're doing and have conversations. You know, even posting a story of transformation on LinkedIn. I mean, you know, we have to be careful of confidentiality and different things like that, but there are plenty of ways that you can start promoting. Who here has a newsletter on LinkedIn? Anybody? Do you have who here has a newsletter for their business? So you can even start a newsletter on LinkedIn. It's super easy. I started one and I had like 1,200 people subscribe that first day. So I know I've been at this a little bit longer than many of you, but I got started and I just sometimes, it just the less you know, the faster you go. And then speaking at a local event, that's where this Toastmasters comes in. Um, because there are a lot of different places that are looking for speakers, and you can even 10, 15 minutes at the most. That's what the TED Talks are all about. So that visibility management, there are no excuses, none. No. Just you got to get visible. You got to get comfortable. You start looking in the mirror and smiling at yourself and say, I have value. Okay, so the value proposition. Jay Abraham is a marketing strategist that makes this so simple. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in chat this formula. So I'm going to, yeah. So I help your ideal client achieve what? Your unique method so they can without the struggle. How do you like this one? I was thinking about this today. My clientele is not really coaches. I mean, I love coaches, but I work with a lot of salespeople that are, they either have to sell or they're going to be in dire places. So I wake coaches up to that deep societal value they hold so they can walk away convicted, inspired, and in action. That's what I hope that this can come for you today. So does anybody have a value proposition? I'm going to go and then I'm going to put this in chat. So while I'm doing that, who has the courage today to share your value proposition? Anybody? I'd love to hear it. Alexander?
I will share mine off the
Oh,
cuff.
goody. Please
So,
do.
I help widows who are through the point of grieving where they can look forward into the rest of their life, figure out who they are now that they are not part of that couple, and what they want out of their life and how to get it.
Oh, Lynn.
Kind of made that up. But that was very inspiring to do that.
Oh, and I've never heard anybody have that before. And that is so helpful. That is so
Thank you.
helpful. That
I'll write it
touches
down
my-
now.
Yeah, write it down. And then even on your LinkedIn you need to get in touch with me. So connect with me
Okay.
on LinkedIn. Because that, and see, another thing, get involved in your ICF chapter because you can learn from people. And like with Lynn, if you have somebody and you go, oh, I know somebody who works with people, because I am not a career coach. I don't help people find jobs. And so even in Arizona, you have to have a license to be a career coach. I refer career coaches. Yes, that is dynamic. We love that. So with that, I'm going to go back here. La, 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 la. Okay. So that unique value proposition is unique value proposition. So what specific outcome do you partner? Okay. Use the word partner versus help. One of my clients, it's in a book, so it's not confidential. They spent $1 million at a focus group to find out, and the word came out, it's partner. When you say partner, they feel like you're going to go shoulder to shoulder with them. So what is the outcome you partner with your clients to achieve? Put it another way, what outcome do you help? But when you articulate it, use the word partner. And already, if everybody says, takes the Boy and Girl Scout, don't ever say, I'm a coach. I partner with, from here and infinity, have your value proposition where you can wake up in the middle of the night and rolls off your tongue. And then who do you serve? So these are some of the value propositions that I found on the internet that CEOs regulate their nervous systems before $1 million decision. That was somebody that had that on there as their value proposition. Help parents show up differently after years of generational patterns. Wow. Creatives trust their voice, and leaders felt their heart. Oh, I don't know. I copied that wrong. Trust their voice and feel their hearts again. Oh, I help leaders feel their hearts again. So excuse that typo. So those are some, and notice how impactful they are. And you can use artificial intelligence to help it be more and more impactful that is truly your voice. Okay, now when networking. So when you're networking and you're out and you say, and somebody goes, well, what do you do? And here is how you word it. You say, so for me, do you know how coaches struggle embracing their value? And then people go, oh, uh-huh. So you have them saying yes. Well, what I do is I help them sell possibilities and stop making the sales conversations about themselves, but about their client's transformation. So the formula here, do you know? So Brad, this is for you. Do you know how, I don't know if he does remote teams struggle with developing cohesive relationships? And people will go, oh, so you're getting into the emotion. Well, what I do is I help them partner. Well, I help them design alliances so that they're in inevitable conflict. They know how to call it and solve it. So, are you getting the gist here? So, Lynn, you are a courageous one. So, if I met you at a networking event using this, do you know, what would you say?
Do you know that widowhood is not the end of life or a well-lived life or something like that?
Okay, that's good. And then what I do is,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, what I do is partner with widows who are through the grieving enough that they are ready to look forward. And together we discover who they are now, what they want from the rest of their life, and how to get it.
Okay, good. So that's the key, right? So you don't just like when they walk up, well, what do you do? And so you don't just, I partner, do you know? So is there anybody here that was created on the fly what they would say? So is Fiona still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Fiona, you partner with young people to find their unique skills and talents. So how would you word, do you know?
So I would say, do you know how difficult it is for young people to make decisions regarding their career choices, as well as making friendships?
Oh, that's so beautiful. So do you all realize, like, do you know how young people this, and you're going, you lean in, you go, mm-hmm, and then you've got their attention. Good. Ingrid, I saw your hand up. What were you going to share? You're unmute, please.
Yes, I am here. I would say, do you know how to gain clarity and confidence about your next step, your next career step? I will partner with you to turn your uncertainty into opportunity and action.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. You're getting it. Yes. And so, Nadia, do you want to read what you wrote?
Sure, sure. Do you know how challenging it is for a young team manager to embrace all responsibilities that come within the role? I will partner with you to overcome the hurdles and challenges in the best possible for you way.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're all about refinement, right? So do you know? Do you know? And they go, oh, that was a J. Abraham tip that I learned early on that has been very, very helpful. So, and you want it to be emotional. Like, do you know how people struggle you about, right? And then this is the, I'm going to use that one, that this top one in team coaching, because there's inevitable conflict in every team, right, Doug? And nobody's calling it, nobody's solving it, they're all hiding it, da 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 da. Okay, good. Okay, so now what I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to give you an example. So I really believe, and I hope you believe, that opportunities are everywhere. Yeah, opportunities are everywhere. And so when you're really in the mode, so I'm off, you can see my screen here. Yeah, I kind of, oh, here, wait, I've got to find, because I was going to just show you, I preempted a chat GPT to help, and it kind of disappeared. Team coaching. Oh, here it is. So how many of you are using AI? Anybody? Galina's using AI. Divya, Lynn. Okay. So I do. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate because on Sunday I was at an event and I was talking to a lady who has a very successful herb. She's a horticulturist. She has a huge property where she grows herbs and she makes teas and lotions. They're on Amazon. She's worked her heart out. She's built a nice company. She's traveling the world and she wants to turn it over to a daughter, but she knows she's not stepping out. So I said, it sounds like you might benefit from having a team coach. And she goes, she never heard of that, but I'm going to show you how I used ChatGPT. So I wrote in here, the more detail you write, the better. So who am I? I am a team coach who would like to offer my services to a small entrepreneurial business. I described it. She wants to turn it over to her children. She's having a hard time standing back, letting her daughter step up. Please share with me several problems that a team coaching could help solve. And then I put it under the persona of Peter Hawkins. He's a world global author on team coaching. So that's how I prompted. So I want to look at the several problems at a deeper level. So we went in here and look what it came up. Legacy versus leadership. The problem, the founder is tied to the business and struggles to relinquish control, while the daughter may feel insecure, stifled, judged. So a team coaching focus, create a space. Another problem, unclear roles and decision rights. Boundaries are blurred, right? Another, team identity and transition. The identity is revolved around the founder. Multi-generational communication style, the problem. How can team coach focus? Strategic drift or stuckness as she loosens the reins. Emotional undercurrents. Look at this. Isn't this incredible? Emotional undercurrents and avoidance. Conversations that need to happen don't because it's family. Sustainability and culture. Okay. So then I said, please provide a value proposition to partner with this team. Okay. So it came up with one. I help. And I said, please use the word partner. So look at this. I partner with a value-driven founder to navigate transitions, collaboration, so that the business sustains its legacy and thrives. That would have took me 29 years to figure something like that out. I mean, I would still be struggling with it a year from now, right? And so this is the positive part of AI. So then I said, what are some of the questions to ask the owner? Because she asked me to call her so that she could understand the value here. Okay. So look at this. Isn't this beautiful? What parts of the business are hardest you to step away from? what would it feel like to know your daughter and this are making right decisions? Are there conversations and tensions that tend to get avoided? Holy smoke. Look at this in asking these trust and confidence, the role of coaching. Would it be worth it to you to have a trusted guide walk with your team? I mean, I get so excited about this. I don't know if it's exciting for anybody else.
It's pretty cool.
Is it cool?
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just keep refining it. So I'm looking at the time here, and I think that let me go back to my thing here. So who's inspired? Beside So John, share what's inspired you?
I think what I found very insightful and helpful was the shift of focus away from myself as coach to the client and what I can do for them and where they want to get to. So helping them focus on their desired outcome and how I can then partner with them to get to that place. I would have had that before, but I think I would have talked about it as the coach rather than focusing on the client. So I think it's a subtle shift, but a really important one, I think,
You are a quick study. Thank you. Who else?
I can share. So I was the one who wrote up earlier in the chat that I wasn't ready to commit the time and energy to really do this. So now I'm feeling like, okay, I have a better sense of what I could do quickly that gets me going without this sense of, to start a business, you have to build the whole website and you have to have all your documents and all of the things, because I've built a different business and I know what it takes to build it, but I don't have to necessarily do all of that to get started. So I appreciate this conciseness.
Yes, thank you. Yes, yes. So the Roadmap to Revenue class starts in August and it is 6 months, once a month. And you get into action and you get a reciprocal coach and you work together. You get 10 hours of reciprocal coaching for your next credential. And then also, I'm a certified mentor coach. And so I listen to recordings and then I give feedback. And so if I don't do group coaching or anything like that, but I'm really, really good at listening to those recordings and helping a coach refine in order to get a credential. And then I do sales and team coaching. So I've been going through the ICE training for team coaching with Tamor and wow, and the supervision, etc. So please link with me on LinkedIn, and I just love to connect with you and go from there. So Huya, did you want me to pull this slide up here, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to take Q&A. Correct? I got it right? Yeah, Huya?
Yeah. Thanks so
Okay.
much. Thanks, Connie, and thank you all for participating. Before we go back to Connie for the takeaways on the Q&A, which, by the way, I find is where a lot of insights are gained by sharing experiences. I want to share with you some of the promotions that you have access to because of you've attended today. Also, we would love to have your feedback on this event. We always tweak our programs and events based on your feedback. So I'm putting a link to this form in the chat. Kindly just, if you could answer that, it's basically just 4 short yes/no type questions. So we appreciate your feedback. But you're also going to qualify by filling in the form. You're also going to qualify for a 40% promotion for the level 1, level 2 programs, including the bridge program from level 1 to 2, starting in June. So we really appreciate if you fill that in. So with this offer, the first 5 people who sign up will not only get the 40% promotion, but they will also be immediately upgraded to the Coaching Business Accelerator, which contains multiple additional programs to increase your impact as a coach and generate more revenue from your coaching business with a lifetime continuous education and support. This, in and of itself, is valued between £2,000 to £3,000, depending on which program you sign up to. The next cohort is starting on the 18th of June and is almost at capacity, so don't miss this chance. So back to Connie for the insights.
Yes, yes. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Connie, this is Nadia. Quick
Yes.
question. What happens if you get the problem or the pain wrong?
I am not understanding that. The problem. Go ahead.
Here's an example. My aspiration is to focus on business development and personal development within the business area. My background is primarily within the IT industry. And I do recognize certain challenges and problems. But very often when I talk to clients, prospect clients, I fear leading with a problem that may not be relevant to them. And from there to say, this service is not suitable for me. So my question is, how do you ensure that you get the pain/problem correctly so that clients can resonate? Because one client may have problem A, but problem A may not be the same for client B.
Okay, so you ask a what or how question, like what are your biggest challenges right now? What do what do you want to be different? So ask a what question and they'll tell you. Yeah. We've got other coaches here. Any other thoughts for Nadia? So
I have a thought.
yes.
What I would say is it's okay if what you are focusing on isn't what the client needs. They may, it may pique their interest anyway. So, for example, I coach widows, but I had an old friend who I hadn't talked to in years see that on LinkedIn and reach out to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I got divorced 2 years ago, and now both my kids are in college, and I feel like I'm kind of in that same space. I need to know." So I ended up working with her and coaching because she created the link from what I said I offered to what she needed. Um, that's helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Yes.
Lynn.
Before we know it, she'll not only be a widow coach, but a divorce. Okay, I just put in chat a really good question. Can somebody read that? Nadia, would you read what I just put in chat? That's how you find out what their problem is.
What challenging steps or opportunities do you want to take in your life or work and haven't done so yet? That's a
Yeah,
good one.
you can take that. Yes, Doug, please. Thank you, Nadia.
Hi, great session, Connie. Thanks. I would like your thoughts on this. I'm a leadership and executive coach, and I'm just getting the business off the ground. And frankly, that niche is because I've been a senior executive for a long time, so it just makes sense. But the truth is, I'm finding that as I talk to people, when they say, "What do you do?" I'm leadership and executive coaching. There's all kinds of business that's being left off the table because people hear that and they say, "Well, I'm not a big leader, or I'm not an executive, and nor do I want to be." And so I'm just interested in your thoughts about when you think about niche narrowing too much or staying general, like how would you navigate opportunity lost because you've got a niche like the kind I'm talking about?
Well, and what industry did you come from?
Government, public sector.
The public sector. So, I mean, I'm a sales coach, but I work very specifically in helping people in the prospecting arena. And so, even for you, that you can leaders, I mean, it's a longer conversation. Reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'll get with you and we'll figure it out. How's that? Because I just need to ask you more specific. The more specific we get, the more I can help you. Connie Kadansky on LinkedIn and we'll schedule a time. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, so here's my last question for you. What are you going to implement? Implement at the speed of instruction. What are you going to implement as a result of investing your time here today?
I'm jumping in, Connie. I'm going to use that formula, the J. Abraham formula, because like Doug, I have this fear of painting myself into a corner with the niche side of things. And so I'd be very interested in using that formula to try and figure out exactly what it is I'm offering. That's a really helpful tool to have given us. So thank you.
Yes, and it depends on where you are. Like if I'm promoting, when I go a sales and team coach, right? And so whoever you're talking to depends on what value proposition you use. So yeah, so okay, good. Good. Any other implementers here? Are we good? You know, a young coach had a more advanced coach on Instagram say, I have a friend who, and she got 11 people who reached out to her from one Instagram post. And I think she set appointments with them. I can't wait to hear from her. So it's just like the more we open up, I have a mantra. I've got two mantras and then I'm going to close. And it's right here. Everything I need to learn comes to me in delightful ways. Everything I need to learn comes to me in delightful ways. And then the better it gets, the better it gets. Just the better it gets, the better it gets. The more creative you get, the better it gets. The more you're out there, the better it gets. And it starts showing up for you. Yes. Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed this session and I just wish you all the very best. The world is going to be a better place. Thank you.